Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem Yeshuato. We're going to start introduction on Mishlei. Like I have to say, it is very intimidating, and I will tell you why. Because Mishlei is a junction or a hybrid of Kohelet and Shir HaShirim that has been adapted by Shlomo to allow every level of individuals, or every individual to every level possible, to connect to the depths of the Torah. We have to, the reason why Shlomo HaMelech chose to write those ethical guidelines or message through Mishlei, through examples, proverbs, it's because there is the core essence of the Torah. If we start from inside out, right? The outside layer is the mashal, right? The proverb. The example that Shlomo HaMelech will use is the cloth, right? Wrapping up the person. But from the inside, it is the core essence, secret of creation, which is hidden also in the Torah, through the codes of the Torah, through the secrets of the letters, combination of letters, right? That together will form a word, right? And with the same thing of the combination of many words makes a sentence that creates history, or that is history. Bereshit, bara, Elokim. As we know, there are many secrets behind the word Bereshit, many ways of writing the word Bereshit, etc., etc. So Shlomo HaMelech decided, in order to reveal those secrets, to speak in a way that people can understand on the most mundane and lame level, but also can read through those words and understand the true secrets to their own level, all the way to the sodot, to the secrets of creation. For that reason, it was so difficult to choose how to approach Mishlei, because there is in every pasuk hundreds of layers. Of layers. Bon, this being said, okay, Shlomo HaMelech, when he decided to write Mishlei, he fasted for 40 days. He did 40 fasts, begging HaKadosh Baruch Hu to allow him to find the right words to reveal the secrets of the Torah and speak to everybody. This is why, if you look at the word Mishlei, the mem of the word Mishlei is written in big. Why? It's Shlomo HaMelech reminding us or revealing to us that he fasted for 40 days, just like Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu also fasted for 40 days when he received the Torah, right? Lechem lo achal u'mayim lo shata. He didn't eat no bread, he didn't drink anything. He survived from the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the desire of connecting to Hashem and to His Torah, and the energy, the wisdom infuses in the body of a person was his source of energy and was his feeding tube to Moshe Rabbeinu. That's what the Rambam explains to us in the Yud Gimel Ikarim, when he talks about the 13 attributes of the Emunah of connecting to Hashem in the Masechet Sanhedrin, and he speaks about Moshe Rabbeinu. He says, how did Moshe survive for 40 days without eating and drinking? He explains that for consecutive days, that's not what Shlomo said, that he fasted 40 days. Doesn't mean that he fasted for 40 consecutive days, okay?
But full day or half day?
No, full day.
Full day, wow.
Yes. Moshe Rabbeinu fasted 40 consecutive days. So how is that possible? Chachamim tell us it's impossible. So the Rambam explains in Masechet Sanhedrin that Moshe Rabbeinu was so connected through his wisdom, and he lived by his wisdom so much to the point that the source of energy of his body came from his brain, came from his intellect. And all the food that he needed was the pleasure and the high he was getting from the Torah Kedosha when he was being taught by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Level we cannot even comprehend. The fact that the Rambam says it in itself is amazing. It means that the Rambam conceptually understood the effect the Torah and the wisdom has on the body.
Because you
cannot talk about something you can't even relate to. And the Rambam was a very pragmatic guy, right? He wasn't a man of stories. He was super like logical. So by saying this, that means the Rambam revealed that there is a way to fuel your body physically through the knowledge of the Torah. Today, we find it where you see the tzaddikim, they don't eat, nothing. When we went to see whoever had the zechut to meet Rav Aaron Leib Steinman, Rav Aaron Leib Steinman lived over 100 and plus years. He was skinny, you could see, tiny skinny, learned Torah all day long. And he had a little bowl of daisa, a little bowl of oatmeal. That's all he had. That's all he ate. Nothing. This and a cup of water. Or the Gaon Mivilna, who ate a piece of bread, hard bread, and water. I heard from Adam, from somebody who is very, very, very close to a big tzaddik of our generation, that all he eats is bread and cottage. He has 3 slices of bread. He has half of a little box of cottage in Israel, and that's what he eats during the day. That's it. All the rest of the time, what he sits, he learns Torah. You look at him, he's skinny. And Kodesh Kodashim, he sees from, he can see everything. He's connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu on a crazy level. So where all this energy comes from, because you see him, the guy can spend 10 hours without fail, nothing. It's because there is a point of connection, and that's the sort of the mem. The mem is the only letter that is written with itself. What do I mean by that? Right? Aleph is Aleph Lamed Pe, right? The Vav, maybe the Vavs, you can write the Vav, 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 but the Vav can be also written Vav, Aleph, Vav, Vav, Yud, Vav.
Mem.
The Mem, you cannot write it with anything else. It's Mem. Even the Nuns in Nun, Vav, Nun. Right? You're not going to find another letter that is written with itself. Okay? To come and tell us that, and by the way, the Mem is the middle, is part of the middle letter, right? You have the Kaf Lamed, right? On Kaf on one hand, and the Lamed and the Mem on the other, which we're going to discuss why he chose to start with the Mem, okay? In a second. But the Mem has in itself an open version, which is the Mem the way we see it, and the Mem Sofit that it's written with, which is a closed version, right? So the hidden part of the Mem is closed, The revealed part of the mem is the open, which are the two layers of the what is called the layer of the Gulgalta. Yes, the layer of the Gulgolet of the brain of the. You have two layers. You have one that is closed, one that is open. The one that is closed is the act, okay, that we spoke about, which is the light coming in and being rejected. That's the sod. That's the secret one. That's the one you don't see. The one that you see is the one that is the mem open, that has the penetration, that has a connection between the outside light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is the most exposed, the most revealed presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in creation, and the internal aspect of the creation, right? Which is what we know about the Sefirot, coming from the Chokhmah and the Binah, going down, for whoever understands, and that is the opening of the mem. The opening of the mem is very, very little. It comes from the bottom, but it is connected with the yud that is on top of the mem, that is on the top, right? If you look at the structure of the mem, right, the mem is like this. It has a little yud on top, right, and a little opening on the bottom, right? So meaning that if you want to penetrate the sod of the mem, it comes from the bottom, and you have to connect to go on top of it through the yud. We know that the yud is representing the chokhmah, right? Is representing the chokhmah. This is how Shlomo HaMelech was able to connect to the deepest secrets of the Torah, right? It was through taking from the beracha of the yud that sits on top of the mem, which represents the chokhmah, and the yud has a kots. The yud has a little spitz coming out, which is what is connecting the chokhmah to the keter, to the crown, which is the gulgalta, right? And that's the connection there is between the outer layer of the gulgalta, of the keter, of the ak, okay, which is fully insulated, and that has only in it reshima, a roshem, a spark, a connection to the outer light that we have no concept of, that we don't understand, which we call the Ein Sof of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? And connects to the Yud, right? That allows the Chokhmah to then get infused into the Mem, that we understand, and from that we have the little opening of the Mem that then opens up to the rest of the creation. This is the reason why I'm talking about that Mem is because Shlomo HaMelech made it a point, okay, first of all, to write a big Mem, and to start Mishlei with a Mem. Now, if you look at David HaMelech started the Tehillim with the word Ashrei, Aleph. Okay? That's right. So he starts with the Aleph, and the last pasuk, Kol HaNeshama Tehalelka Haleluka, Kol is Kaf Lamed. So he finishes with the middle of the Aleph Bet, right? Kaf Lamed is the middle of the Aleph. It starts with the Aleph, Ashrei, and it finishes with Kol, right? The first word of the last pasuk is Kol HaNeshama Tehalelka Haleluka, right? So that means he only touched on half of the letters of the Torah. What comes after the Lamed? Mem, Mishlei. Shlomo HaMelech picks up from where his father left off, and he builds on it, okay, to then finish all the letters, okay, of the Mishlei. If we look at the last pasuk of Mishlei, is Tav. תנולה מפרי ידיה ויעללוה בשערים ומעשיה, אשת חיל. The last pasuk of Mishlei starts with the word tenu, taf. Shlomo HaMelech picked up from where his father left and finished with the taf. Why? Because it says in Mishlei, and we're going to get to it. The Gemara says in Masechet Barachot Daf Nun Zayin. Okay, the Gemara in Brachot says the following: Haro'eh Shlomo b'halom. If you see Shlomo HaMelech in your dream, yetzapeh lechokhmah. Then you be ready to have the gates of chokhmah, the gates of wisdom, open to you. And the pasuk says in Mishlei, Chacham beni v'samach libi. Who is the Chacham? Is the one that has simcha in the heart. Chacham beni, if my son is Chacham, samach libi, my heart is happy. So there is a direct connection between the chokhmah and the lev. What is the lev? What is the heart of the Aleph Bet? It's the mem. It's the middle. That's what the Yalkut Shimoni says.
Why?
I'm sorry?
Why?
It's the heart is where in the heart is in the middle of the body. So Shlomo HaMelech wanted to, if he says, if I need to speak to everybody, to the center that connects to everything, to the heart that gives the entire body alive, I'm not going to do like my father who started from the Aleph and finished to the Lamed, to the Chaf and Lamed Kol. And I'm going to start from the center and pull out. David HaMelech, which was Din, started from the bottom, going down, 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 down. He stopped right before the Lev, right before the Lamed. Sorry, before the Mem. Says the Yalkut, Shlomo HaMelech says, I'm not going to do what my father did. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to start from within, from the heart, and spread out. And that's how he was zocheh from the Lamed, from the Mem of the word Mishlei to finish with the Taf. Something David HaMelech couldn't do. Good. The Mem, which is a center of the body, represents the Lev, the heart. Now, with this being said, Hezkel says, Hod hida umshol mashal. That's Hezkel. Hezkel tells us, if you want to understand the Torah, do not read the Torah for face value as just what it is, but present it through meshalim, through proverbs, through indirect stories. The Midrash brings this pasuk that in Shir HaShirim, the Midrash in Shir HaShirim Rabbah, and explains what does that mean. He says, "Mashal lema davar dome le'adam she'ibda lo margalit b'makom chashuch." A person lost a beautiful jewel, a beautiful stone in a very dark place, and he's looking for it. It's going to be very difficult to find it in the dark. You know why? What does he do? He takes a little candle, turns on the candle, and with that little fire, that little candle, he's going to start looking. But with that candle, he can find it. It says, the mashal, the proverb, the example is the candle. But that candle allows you to find the jewel, which is the sod of the Torah. Shlomo HaMelech gave us the candle, which is the words that are written in Mishlei, that allow us to connect and navigate exactly to find the sodot, the secrets of the Torah. Now, Shlomo HaMelech, he was zocheh to that. Why? when HaKadosh Baruch Hu came to Shlomo HaMelech and he told him, what do you want? You want wealth? What do you want? You want power?
Life.
He said, no, he didn't say you want a wife.
Long life.
A long life, exactly. He said, no, give me wisdom. Give me wisdom. So the Midrash tells us what is that. Again, Mashal. He says, like you have a man, and he did something to the king, and the king has to pay him back. So he tells him, listen, I give you one choice. What do you want? Anything you want, I give you. The Midrash tells us in Shir HaShirim, so the guy starts singing, he said, 1 second. If I ask for money, I don't have land. If I ask for land, I'm not going to have power. If I ask for power, I'm not going to have money. It's a very difficult choice to make. He says the king has one daughter. I'm going to marry her. By marrying her, I have everything. And that's what he does. That's exactly what Shlomo HaMelech did. Yeah, the Chacham. He said, I'm going for the whole deal here. I'm not settling. He went and he says, I want your daughter. So I want your chokhmah. I want your chokhmah. B'zchut that chokhmah, he was able to find the words that can connect to everyone, and that was Shir HaShirim, Kohelet, and Mishlei.
Clearly, he had the merit of the chokhmah to even choose that, right?
But the merit, I think, yes, but that he has chokhmah, but everybody does. The question is, how much do you want the beracha from Hashem? That's really the question. You see, if you're willing to be mevater, if you're willing to let go, and
baggage.
You're how do you say?
Your comfort zone.
I'm settling. I'm ready. If you're ready to settle, you cannot get the Torah. There's no way. If somebody comes to you and tells you, listen, you need to settle. Which child do you want? Can you settle? Can you say, I want this one over that one? Impossible. Can a father or a mother settle on which kid to choose?
No.
Absolutely not. I will not choose. There's no, kill me, I don't choose. That's how it is. Why? Because our love is so strong that there's no way in the world I can choose a child over another. It's impossible. Shlomo HaMelech loved HaKadosh Baruch Hu so much, loved his relationship to HaKadosh Baruch Hu so much, that it was impossible for him to settle. I want long life, and I want money, and I want power, and I want, not because I want, because this is what you're offering me, Hashem. Yeah? If HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells me, I'm giving you the money, he's not telling me I'm giving you money, I'm giving you the bracha of the money. When he says, I give you, you choose long life, he's not giving you just a long life, he's giving you the beracha of a long life. This is not like a Kellogg's that you put your hands in it and there's something coming out. This is HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving it to you from him directly. So Vadai, it's coming with all its splendor and all its beracha. Can somebody choose? Impossible. Impossible. So Shlomo HaMelech understood to be zoche to everything, which is the highest. Like with the lev, what connects the arm, the right arm with the left arm, with the right eye, left eye, the head. What is it? It's the lev, the heart. What is the heart? Is the wisdom, is the chokhmah of the Torah. Lev netivot ha-chokhmah. So when you connect to the chokhmah, you connect to the heart of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the heart of the beracha. This is the center of all berachot, is the wisdom of the Torah. And through that beracha, he was able, and that's what the Chachamim tell us, he was able to write, again, 3,000 mashal, 3,000 meshalim, which is the Mishlei. He was able to write 1,005 songs with Shir HaShirim. He wrote Kohelet. And that's how he started with Mishlei. Meaning when you are at the center of things, when you are at the root of something, you have no restrictions on what you deliver and what you can share. When you are on the side, when you are distracted, even 1 degree, that degree that you are distracted from or that you're off, you lost. You can no longer then relate to the center because you're off. But if you're in the center, you can relate to everyone, to everything, right? This is the koach of Shlomo HaMelech. If we go back to who is Shlomo, Shlomo HaMelech is the guidance of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is the representation of Hashem's will to humanity to want to connect to the root of things. Go back to the origin. And if you're able to go back to the origin, you are zoche to everything. What you will do with it afterwards, it's a different story. But the zechut to be connected, the beracha to be connected to the point of origin and being able to refer to everything, to everyone, to relate to everyone, you have it. This is the beracha of Mishlei, and this is the beracha of Shlomo. This is what Shlomo HaMelech represents. Who is Shlomo HaMelech? Shlomo HaMelech is Hashem's will in humanity to be shoef, to desire to be connected to the point of origin. Why? So that you can relate to everything and everyone in creation. This is why Shlomo HaMelech can talk to lions, can talk to trees, can plant in Yerushalayim every tree possible, because he knows how the veins go and spread throughout the planet. If you're at the point of origin, you're everywhere. So Shlomo HaMelech chose to be the Aron Aberit inside the Kodesh HaKodashim, inside the Bet HaMikdash of human beings. That's Shlomo HaMelech. And this is the definition of Chokhmah. This is the mem. The mem is coming to remind us if the beauty and the power of the Chokhmah. The second you disconnect from the mem, you can be David HaMelech, you can be in the Aleph, you can be in the Kaf, in the Lamed, you're not in the heart. You cannot build the Bet HaMikdash. This is what Shlomo HaMelech builds the Bet HaMikdash, which is the Lev, which is the heart of creation, right? The heart of the planet is where? Is in Yerushalayim, inside the Bet HaMikdash. So Shlomo HaMelech can build the Bet HaMikdash. If you are the heart and you are the center, you can build. Now we understand why Shlomo HaMelech zachar to build the Bet HaMikdash. It's all about what you choose and where you belong. You want to belong. And by the way, the Lev, like we brought from the Adra Rabbah, the Lev are the 32 point of penetration, okay, of the layer of the Gulgalta of the Arich Anpin that allows the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu from the Atik Yomin to penetrate and spread. So the point of origin, the point of connection between the Elyonim and Tachtonim, between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Chokhmah, Binah, and etc., in creation, the way it reveals itself on the spiritual world, all the way until the physical world that is called man, is through the Lev, is through those 32 points of entrance. This is just this is more in the Besamim, right?
But wait,
for the,
we didn't answer the question of why the mem is large.
what do you mean large?
The letter itself.
I did. First of all, to explain that he is focusing on the mem and not on the aleph, the kaf, and the lamed, or what Chachamim say, because he fasted for 40 days, which is the gematria mem is 40. He fasted for 40 days in order to be zoche to the Torah Moshe, to be at the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, to be exactly. So it's an and he's everything we're talking about right now. All this show is about why did Shlomo HaMelech started with a mem and why it's a big mem. Everything we're saying right now revolves around that question.
I thought that was just defining the letter, but not the size.
No, the size is. Chachamim tells us that the size is because he fasted for 40 days, begging to Hakadosh Baruch Hu for the chokhmah. Chokhmat Moshe, to be able to understand Torah Moshe Rabbeinu. Okay. This is the sod, at least just to taste a little bit. To make borei minei besamim on the bracha. Now you have to understand. You know that at the beginning, the Chachamim took Mishlei and put it in the Gniza. This is not Torah. This is Proverbs. Yes. It's in Avot de Rabbi Natan, Perek Dalet, Halacha Aleph. In the Avot de Rabbi Natan, it tells us that the Chachamim didn't see any wisdom in Mishlei. Who has time for Proverbs? Until the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah came, who wrote the Tefillah. The Anshe Knesset HaGedolah are the Chachamim that consolidated the Tefillot for Am Yisrael. That basically it's the point, the point of connection between
The whole Torah.
Torah Shebe'al Peh, okay, and what all the writings that we have that became universal. Yes. Anshe Knesset HaGedolah took the intimate, personal connection of the Torah that existed all the way up to that point and turned it into a universal text that everyone can actually connect to on their own level. So what did Knesset HaGedolah did? They had to go through all the Torah, put it together in a text, and allow that text to connect to every individual. Isn't that all about Mishlei? Wow. That's exactly Mishlei. So the only people that could actually see the secrets of Mishlei are the ones that actually instituted that universality in the side of Torah. And that's the sword of the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah. Anshe Knesset HaGedolah are the people that had the ability to cancel Avodah Zarah. The Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah, it's Anshe Knesset HaGedolah. They pray, they say, no more Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah, no more.
Why? Because they knew the root.
They knew the root. They were able to, again, how can you cancel something from humanity? Only if you understand the point of connection and between every individual. So they were able to get to that's what they are called Anshe Knesset, Kinus, Knesset HaGedolah. The Knesset is Bet HaKnesset, the Kinus, the gathering. They were able, they were the Anashim, Anshe, which is Anashim. Anashim is many people. So, right? So they took many of Anashim. Knesset gathered it to make it Gadol, to make it Gedula, to make it one. And that's the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah. They all came together, found the point of connection that is similar, the common denominator inside every individual, and targeted it to cancel the Yetzer Hara of Avodah Zarah. And then they canceled the Yetzer Hara of desires of ladies. Then we know the Gemara. Yeah, they saw that even the chicken that would not mate, so they took it out. They reinstituted it. Yes.
One question: if they knew the root of everything,
didn't they know that canceling the Yetzer Hara of desires would bring that won't be more pruvu?
Okay, yeah, it's a very good question. Very good question. Now, we're not the Anshe Knesset HaGedolah, but as we know, in the Arizal HaKadosh, there is a very, very fine line between the Yetzer HaKiyumi, the desire to survive and to procreate, and the desire of pleasure. Okay, and it's mixed. So they touched into
toe the line.
yeah, it's like you touch on a hair that can have impact on two sides.
So why couldn't they bring Mashiach then at that point? If they could
That's a
get
different question. Mashiach is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In Achenami, we thought that Shimon HaTzadik, we thought that he was Mashiach. There is why cannot they couldn't bring?
I'm saying if you could get rid of the root of all Yetzer Hara, you would.
But that's the yes. But you're talking about a period of time with certain amount of people that were all focused on that same koach to find the point of the common denominator between humanity. That doesn't mean that they did the tikkun of all humanity. You know,
But it
the
seems
humanity
like
has
the
to
most
bring.
likely, right?
We don't know. We don't know. It's every generation is likely to bring Mashiach. Every Mashiach, now more than ever. Now more than ever, as we see it.
We hope it's the right way.
There you go. That's what we pray. Mashiach berachamim. We want Mashiach through mercy, not Chalila, other things.
Amazing.
So this just gives us a little taste of
the introduction.
It's an introduction. Yes, it's an introduction. We just spoke right now about why Shlomo HaMelech chooses the mem, okay, and why the mem is gadol. Okay, Ezrat Hashem, with this, and we hopefully b'siyata d'shmaya we need to have a little bit more introduction on now the overall idea of Mishlei, the way the Gaon sees it and slices, because Mishlei is essentially 3 books, and we're going to see it that focus on 3 avodot of a person that we'll see Bli Neder next year.
We're back.
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Thank you so much, everybody.